everybody, welcome to Bedtime Stories. Tonight's bedtime stories are all about bedtime and nighttime and babies and bunnies, and we've just got a bunch of different stuff for tonight. Okay, so the first story we're going to read is called The Day the Babies Crawled Away, and it is by Peggy Rathman. Remember the day that the babies crawled away? We moms and dads were eating pies. The babies saw some butterflies. And what do you know? Surprise, surprise, the babies crawled away. Oh no, look at them go. They're chasing the butterflies. Remember the way you tried to save the day? You hollered, hey, you babies stay. But none of them did, and some of them hid. I say, what a day when the babies crawled away. They crawled in the trees. They were chasing the bees. They crawled in a bog. They were chasing the frogs. They crawled in a cave. You cried, babies, behave. But the babies loved bats, so the babies just waved. Oh my gosh, they're waving at the bats. When the babies crawled out on a ledge, you yelled, babies, don't crawl near the edge. But none of them heard, at least not the three who thought they were birds, and they got stuck in a tree. You yelled, I'll be there in a jiff, as you scrambled down the cliff, and you saved the whole crew, including the two who practically flew before landing on you. Nice play. What a day when the babies crawled away. But then, my oh my, how those babies began to cry. They were hungry and tired, and their little mouths were dry. Oh, look at them crying. So you mashed them some blackberries with droplets of dew, and they took a short nap and a big pile on you. I say, what a day when the babies crawled away. Remember the sling you invented to bring them all back? You borrowed their diapers and tied them into a sack. With lines made of vines, it took quite a while, but you and the babies all rode up in style. Hey, hey, what a day when the babies crawled away. Remember the way they followed you home that day? Through the cave and the trees, on their brave little knees, waving bye-bye to the bats and the bees. Okay, what a day when the babies crawled away. Oh, look how pretty this is. Remember how we cheered? Hip, hip, hooray! You fetched our darling babies home to stay. You are our hero, have some pies, and we insist you've won first prize for saving the day when the babies crawled away. Remember the way I carried you home to bed? You were thirsty and tired and your little eyes were red. You told me your story, I brewed you some tea, then you fell fast asleep in a small pile on me. Shh, I say, what a day when the babies crawled away. The end. Okay, now this next story was one of my son's favorites when he was little. And it's called The Bunnies Are Not in Their Beds. And this is by Marissa Bina Russo. I hope you like this one. I read this book many, many times to him. Nighttime is here. Little bunnies are tucked into bed. Good night. Good night, sleep tight. Mama sits in her chair and Daddy sits in his. All is quiet, but then, click, clack, click, clack. What is that noise? It sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Oh, back to bed, little bunnies. No more tracks on the floors. See you in the morning. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama writes a birthday card to Grandma and Daddy reads a book. But then, chugga, 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 chugga. What is that noise? It sounds like the bunnies are not in their bed. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Oh my goodness. What are you doing, little bunnies? No more tracks, no more trains, no more mischief tonight. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama makes tea in her teapot and Daddy sets out the cups. But then, click, clack, It sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs and they open the door, and what do they see? What is going on, little bunnies? You're not listening to us. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more mischief tonight. Good night, good night, good night. All is quiet again. Mama is sipping her tea and Daddy is slicing some cake. But then, zoom, zoom, vroom. What is all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their bed. Mama and Daddy walk up the stairs and they open the door, and what do they see? Oh my goodness. Little bunnies, back to bed before we count to 3. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more cars, no more mischief. 1, 2, 3. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama turns off the lights and Daddy pulls down the shades. But then, boom, 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 honk, squonk, honks, clash, clash, smash. Oh, what is all that noise? Sounds like those bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy march up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There will be no more noise, little bunnies. Not the click or the clack of a track, not the chug-a-chug-chug of a train, not the clip or the clop of a horse, not the zoom-zoom or vroom of a car, not the boom or the honk or the clash or the smash of a big bunny band, not a wiggle, not a giggle, not a sound. Good night, good night, good night. Out go the lights. All is quiet again. Not a sound in the house. The good little bunnies must be in their beds. But then, tip-tap, tippity-tap. What is that noise? It sounds like the bunnies are still not in their beds. They tiptoe down the hall. They open the door, and what do they see? Mama and Daddy tucked into bed, fast asleep at last. Hooray! Whisper the bunnies. We can play all night long. But then, yawn, snuffle, zzz. What is that noise? It sounds like the bunnies are fast asleep. Good night, every bunny, big and small. Sweet bunny dreams to one and to all. Good night, sleep tight. The end. Did you like that one? I like that one. Okay, I have one more story before we need to get into our beds, right? We need to get into our beds very soon. And our last story is called Kittens' First Full Moon, and it is by Kevin Hankes. Okay. You getting sleepy? I'm getting sleepy. It was Kitten's first full moon. When she saw it, she thought, there's a little bowl of milk in the sky, and she wanted it. So she closed her eyes, and she stretched her neck, and she opened her mouth, and she tried to lick. But Kitten only ended up with a bug on her tongue. Poor Kitten. Still, there was the little bowl of milk, and it was just waiting. So she pulled herself together, and she wiggled her bottom and sprang from the top step of the porch. But Kitten only tumbled, bumping her nose and banging her ear and pinching her tail. Poor kitty. Still, there was the little bowl of milk, and it was just waiting. So she chased it down the sidewalk, through the garden, past the field, and by the pond, but Kitten never seemed to get closer. Poor Kitten. Still, there was that little bowl of milk just waiting. So she ran to the tallest tree she could find, and she climbed to the very top, but Kitten still couldn't reach the bowl of milk, and now she was scared. Poor Kitten. What could she do? Then in the pond, Kitten saw another bowl of milk, and it was bigger. What a night! So she raced down the tree and raced through the grass and raced to the edge of the pond. She leaped with all her might. Poor Kitten. She was wet and sad and tired and hungry. So she went back home. And there was a great big bowl of milk on the porch, just waiting for her. Lucky kitten. The end. Okay, I think it's time for us to get into our beds. What do you think? Yeah? Are you sleepy? I'm sleepy. Okay, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye.